This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Golden, Colorado. We're at StoneTree Network Solutions. Since 2003, they have been developing and supporting business-centric technology for folks all along the Front Range. I'm here with Dan Mullen, who is the President CEO. Thanks for joining us, Dan. Okay. Why don't we begin, first of all, share with me a little bit about your background and what got you involved in this type of industry.
I've been doing computer work since right out of college, to be honest. Worked with quite a few Fortune 200 companies, and then took that as a reason to take that technology to small business to make sure that they're taken care of, like the Fortune 100, 200 companies, and they have that same access to that same technology. So that was the ideal back in 2003 when we started StoneTree. And we've developed quite a few niches along the way, healthcare being our biggest one at this point. But we've learned quite a bit, and it's changed over the course of the last decade plus. So.
Speaking over the course of the last decade, quite honestly, behind every successful company out there that utilizes data on a day-to-day basis in their environment, really companies like you make sure they're getting that data. Why is your company more relevant probably today than even 20, 30 years ago?
Well, 20, 30 years ago, data didn't really even matter, honestly. It was all paper. Right now, today, with electronic medical records, everybody's going paperless. So everything that you have that is your business, that's your proprietary information, is held in zeros and ones somewhere, either on your premise or in the cloud somewhere. And we make sure that that it's there, it's going to be there, it's backed up. There's a couple copies so that the business owners that trust us with their data don't have to worry about losing that. So, yeah.
What are some of the benefits for companies out there to outsource this? I mean, many times they used to have it in-house all the time. Now they're outsourcing maybe some of their IT, if not all of it. How does that benefit them?
So the small companies that we service don't necessarily want to or have the resource to afford a full-time person. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that we're monitoring their systems throughout the week, and then we usually spend a little bit of time with them, a scheduled time during the week, to take care of their systems and, like I said, monitor them and take care of them throughout the rest of the time. So they're cutting their costs by as much as 80%.
Definitely more cost effective for them than paying payroll on somebody in-house like that. Let's start off, first of all, somebody that wants a complete outsourcing of their IT. Share with me what the blended time is. What does that give them?
Blended time, that is almost a full outsource of their IT department. A lot of times we have fewer of those, and that's more of a larger company that wants on-site 5 days a week. A help desk that's maybe internal to their company, where they can just pick up the phone and there's one of our staff members available to them, and the resources that we have available to all of their employees. But for the most part, it's usually a day a week for more of the small to medium business. But the blended time option is for like a full outsource for a larger company.
So really, a lot of the smaller companies, they don't require on-site engineer all the time, and so therefore they still want that ability to reach out on a phone or click for support, and that's what you give them. Is that basically where your just-in-time basically does for them?
Yeah, our just-in-time product is just it's there for when they need it. It's not necessarily a scheduled time. They can buy a block of time and then use it as they see fit. So.
One of the things I notice here is accessibility. Obviously, folks are able to contact you during business hours, but as we all know, data goes down, crashes happen even on the weekends or after hours. Basically, is that where your on the double time kicks in right there?
Yeah, double time. That's just our way of making sure that people know that we're going to be there, like you said, 8 to 5. It seems like some things happen during that time period, but a lot of IT work has to happen afterwards. Upgrades, for instance, unplanned outages is what we'll call them, things that crash. So yeah, we make sure that they know that there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to cover that, so that come the next business morning, their systems will be up and going.
One of the cost-effective means that companies are doing anymore, not only outsourcing their IT service, but they're even, a lot of times they don't even have the server on site anymore. Cloud solutions, is that something you guys are able to provide for?
That is really our niche, to be honest with you, and we've gone that way in the last little while. So the contrast is the on-premise solutions versus the cloud solutions. And the on-prem solutions are something that is a cost, and then they amortize it over time, and then 5, 6 years later they have to do it all over again. And so when we walk into somebody who thinks that they just don't want to switch that up, we talk to them and say, look, it's just like always having a new car. You're going to pay for the cloud, and as we upgrade the cloud, as things get better and faster, you're always going to have access to that technology. You're not responsible for your backups. We're going to take care of those offsite, and you'll never have to buy into that model of $10,000, $15,000 every few years to buy something. You just pay a monthly fee, and you're good to go. And as you need to expand, we can expand with you, and if you need to downsize, we can do the same thing.
So a great way to really use what you need when you need it.
Absolutely.
And more cost effective because you can use that capital elsewhere. What about folks who have a server on site, but they just are looking strictly for backup off location? You help them there as well.
We can do that. There's many electronic backups that we use. So with that, typically we want to talk to them about when the server, it's not if, but when the server dies or when it's on its last leg. Sure. At that point, then allow us to move it into the cloud. And in the interim, what we'll do is just make a backup of the entire server, a virtual image of it. So in case something were to happen, we can take that and move it into the cloud quickly and get them up and running.
Quite honestly, Dan, with you, the goal that you've been able to attain and sustain is really 100% uptime. That's the goal.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's our business to keep your business constantly connected. That's what we say, and that's our goal for everything, is to make sure that the business is always up and going. So,
I mean, quite honestly, Dan, folks hate when their systems go down, but you, the IT guys, you guys hate it worse than they do. I mean, tell me what you got on the back end to make sure that they sleep well at night.
Yeah, well, that's us too, right? We have a monitoring system. We call it Stone Sentry, and it actually goes out and makes sure, just asks it, hey, how's it going? Sends a packet out, and they'll respond back. And if we miss a few of those, then we realize we should probably check into it. We also have people that go in the computer room and visually take a look and make sure that green lights are good and red lights are bad, and will call us and make sure. But so we have a visual check as well as an electronic check, and then other systems that make sure, even from the outside, that the system is up and going. So we monitor almost everything, because we'd rather not be working at 3 in the morning either. So if we can keep it up during the day and keep businesses happy and we get our sleep, everything's good.
Really important for companies out there to know kind of what type of redundancy that their IT people have in place. I mean, for all we know, you could have a cloud in somebody's basement, and so you, as a consumer business, you really have to be well aware of that.
Yeah, the cloud, that term has been overused, and like you said, it just depends on who you're talking to. A cloud could be in somebody's basement. Ours, like I said, is wholly owned. We own it. We don't lease it from anyone. And then we have links to other co-locations, so other computer rooms, so that if something were to happen, we have backups across the wire, multiple copies of everybody's emails. So like I said, every system that we have is redundant. The servers that are virtual, we have copies of those on other systems, so they're called snapshots, so that we can turn those back up. If something bad happens, we can kind of roll it back to a certain point in time and then start it up again. These are all the kind of things that are not necessarily something that you would get with an on-prem solution, where the server's behind the receptionist desk or in the coat closet or something like that.
So no matter what we're talking about, peace of mind. A company out there that is looking at outsourcing their IT, what would you tell them?
I think we're a viable competitor. I think they need to look at us and look at the offerings that we have, our client list. We have nothing but great references. We have like I said, our own cloud. We don't lease our equipment. It's ours. We manage it. We're an asset to every business that allows us to help them out. So.
Excellent. Folks, last time, take a look at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see the website right there. You can also see their contact information. Feel free to email them or give them a call. They'll sit down with you and assess your needs. They can basically customize what it is you're looking for. That is StoneTree Network Solutions. If you're in need of outsourced IT, leave it to StoneTree. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're out on location in Longmont, Colorado. I am here with Chips Roofing and Exterior. For over 30 years, they have been helping homeowners feel confident about their roof as well as their roofer. Locally owned, operated. Chip, you found this company some years ago. Why don't you share with me a little bit about what it is that got you involved in this type of industry?
By my brother in the Miami-Dade area. Miami-Dade is pretty much one of the toughest standards in the country, and when I moved out here, I brought the Miami-Dade hurricane standards with me.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. One of the biggest investments we as consumers make is our home, and yet we put that investment out 365 days a year in the elements, be it wind, rain, snow, you name it. Basically, this is the reason you guys exist, to make sure that a roof stays intact.
Yeah, probably one of the most important parts of your house. Everything's under it.
Absolutely. One of the things I noticed here, we're standing in front of one of your projects here. This is a commercial product. Are you able to do commercial as well as residential both?
Yeah, we do it all.
Do a little bit of each. What are some of the risks involved for folks to leave a roof in repair? Are there risks involved? Is it more costly to keep it going like that?
Oh yeah, there'd be a lot of drywall damage, a lot of content damage. As you can look at this other building over here, I mean, it's trashed. So, I mean, I can show you parts of the walkways here about the water damage they have on those walkways that we had to rebuild on all the porches and patios over on here.
Interesting. You guys have been at it for many years now. I mean, one of the worst things is to have a faulty roof, but I think the worse than that would be to have it repaired and still have it faulty. What keeps you from, what are some of the safeguards in place to make sure you guys get it done right? And are we talking about years of experience coming to play?
Well, I actually train all my guys. I won't hire them off the street. I get a lot of calls from crews who tell me they'll knock out a roof. They'll knock out 5 roofs a week, and I just don't hire those people. Everybody who works for me has been trained by me. I am a 32-year roofer, and again, I learned in the toughest state in the country with the hardest codes on the planet. So I mean, they learn. When my guys have to tear up something bad, they get tarred up. That we're probably one of the only companies in the state that use a lot of tar on our roofs, and so if they do something wrong, I'll spot it. And
absolutely. Basically, this is a good example behind us here, possibly of a roof that through the years had just worn away. But many times folks have a perfect roof one day, wake up the next day, the thing's in shambles because of a storm, winter. Is this something you guys take care of?
Oh yeah, we do a lot of hail damage work, deal with insurance companies on a daily basis. We do a lot of wind damage, just any claim of any kind that has to do with an exterior. Someone
wakes up after a storm, they found their roof in disarray. Should they be calling their insurance company, or is that something you guys are prepared to do as well?
I believe it's illegal to call the insurance company for the homeowner. So their best deal would be to actually call somebody, have them look at the roof to make sure they're just not wasting the insurance company's time or their own time. It's a free estimate, so it doesn't hurt to actually have somebody come out and look at the roof.
Speaking of somebody coming out and taking a look at the roof, to stay in compliance with their insurance, are they able to choose here in Colorado who the roofer is?
Yes, they have contractor of choice laws here. They've been enforced for a number of years. So the insurance company is not allowed to choose your contractor for you, even though they will try.
I imagine. Obviously, your specialty is that of roofs. What about siding, gutters, that type of thing, exterior? Do you work in all those areas?
Yeah, we're Chips Roofing and Exteriors. We're full siding and roofing company. As you see here, this has all been re-sided here. We did steel siding on it, so pretty much it'll never have to be painted again. This is after we were done, it was a completely maintenance-free building.
Excellent. Obviously, the roof is put on there to protect the contents, people inside, but quite honestly, it's a beautiful thing you can do to your home. I imagine a lot of, once you guys drive away from a place, you've got neighbors that are admiring the work you do. What are some of the materials you're able to work in?
Well, we can work with all the major manufacturers, of course. We can work with smaller shingle manufacturers. With siding, we can work with any manufacturer. I like to have all our siding custom made, and I like to have all our metal edging custom made too. All the metal products and stuff, we're the only contractor in the state who actually gets our drip edge and everything else custom made for color and everything else. when you use the right color on a house, it just looks better. I like to let my customers know that I want people driving by to actually have their eyes drawn to the roof. You know, roof is one of the biggest parts of the exterior, or whatever we're doing is extremely visible, so you want it to look good, and you want everybody to be trained to make sure it's done right.
Wonderful. Here in Colorado, we obviously have some serious elements we deal with every day. Are the standards that you guys keep up here, are they consistent throughout the country pretty much?
Again, we're doing Miami-Dade hurricane standards, so we're above everything else. So every major manufacturer, every bundle will actually say Miami-Dade or Metro-Dade approved. So if your material's not Metro-Dade approved, it's pretty much not a good material. And if your material's Metro-Dade approved, shouldn't your contractor be also?
So we're talking about serving in this industry for over 30 years, but they've been serving here in Colorado basically for over better part of a decade, and making you feel confident about your roof and about your roofer.
That would be 15 years in business, 32 years in the industry.
Excellent. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with Healthy Girl LLC. For over 25 years, she has been helping you get healthy and having fun doing it. Joanne, thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, 25 years, that's quite a long time. You are certified in many different things. We're talking about yoga, Pilates, mat science, PowerFlex. That's quite a bit. Share with me this exciting journey and where this began, your passion in this industry.
Well, I actually started teaching as a hobby because I was a bored newlywed at home. And then from there, they approached me in class and asked me about getting certified for teaching fitness classes. And then when I got laid off of work at MCI about 15 years ago, my teaching fitness became my Plan B job.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. As a master instructor, who somebody basically coined you Healthy Girl, do you see the industry changing? I mean, you've been with it for some time. Why are they focused on their health more today than possibly ever before?
There's a lot of health issues that we have, the cardiovascular issues, the diabetes, and we're finding diabetes in our children as well. And so being more aware of your fitness and your health is really important, and we're seeing a lot more cancer issues out there as well. And I know that in teaching fitness, there's a lot of passion that I have, and just seeing the progress of the people that have been in car accidents and everything else that have come, and I can see their progression. You don't get any other thanks for that you can't feel that's right in your heart.
Wow, that is interesting. I mean, quite honestly, you've been experienced in kettlebells, cycling, many different areas. Why the decision to focus on Pilates, and is that one of your favorite?
Yes, Pilates is my favorite. Pilates is a mat workout that I do. And a lot more people are more apt to do the Pilates, like they can do it at home. You can take it when you travel. It's a healthy back, it's core, and it really gets the muscles working from the inside out, so you're supporting everything from the inside out to the major muscles that you work.
Interesting. I mean, quite honestly, Pilates has become mainstream in the past decade, we'll say. Back in the day, it used to be kind of the secret for the Hollywood elite. This is what kind of kept them in shape. Obviously, they want to be healthy, but they want to look toned and good. Will it help us look toned and good as well?
Yes, definitely. And you will feel where you're working right through the center, and your core is your support beam. Just like if you have a structure and you have a support beam and you don't want to knock that support beam down because the ceiling could fall out. So your core is your support beam, and it's the most important part that you should be working. So anything else that you do is only going to be better.
Interesting. Let's talk about some of the benefits here specifically that people are able to gain. Stress. I mean, we all have tension, we have stress. Is this a good workout for stress?
Yes, it is. Anytime you add any kind of exercise in there, it's really good for stress. And you get those good endorphins that you get anytime you work out. So it's definitely very, very helpful.
One of the things I notice, the Hollywood elite, as they come down the red carpet, you got the ladies with great dresses on, they're showing off their arms. Is this a way to get some arms like the A-listers out there?
Yes, especially when I add in some of the different, I'll call them toys that I use. You can get a lot of definition. I use a band in some of my Pilates, and you get resistance training. And as you get older, you start losing muscle and bone density, and you need resistance training. So you get all of that. You get the full package with Pilates.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, this is a group of people that come together here, and kind of nice being with some people that are all on the same page, all looking at health. Do you also discuss health tips or even eating tips when you're together?
Definitely, that comes with the package. A lot of nutritional information, ideas, tricks, some ways of keeping it simple.
So many times you also have meet and greets throughout the year where people can come in and just kind of mix and mingle and learn from each other.
Yes.
Wonderful. One of the things I notice when stress comes on is the first thing that gets attacked is my back. What will this do for somebody's back as well as even our posture as we get older?
It definitely, first thing you notice is your posture and your back. There's a lot of healthy back workouts with it, and because you are on the floor, you strengthen your back muscles, and your back muscles help you strengthen your core muscles. So you have to work the front muscle and the back muscle. So you can see we're working those two sets together can really help you out.
If we have somebody out there watching that basically has not ever tried Pilates before, they're a newbie, maybe nervous about the class, would you recommend them going to a starter class, or can they jump right into any one of your classes that you offer?
Oh, the beauty of my classes and Pilates is you can just jump right into any of the classes and work at your level.
Share with me a little bit about this class. Are we talking about an hour-long class? Am I going to sweat? Basically, all I need, you say, is a mat, a bottle of water, and maybe a towel. Is that right?
That's right. Nothing fancy, very affordable, and it's very doable for everybody, from a young person starting out to an elderly person. There's a lot that you can benefit from Pilates, and you grow with it as you do it.
Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is basically her Facebook page. On the Facebook page, you can click like right there. She'll keep you apprised of a lot of the classes she has coming up. The best way to find out is really through the meetup group. If you check the meetup group, we put the address on the bottom of the screen right there. Basically, you're conducting these every week, and we're talking about all different types of age groups.
All different kinds of age groups and all different areas out in the community, basically. My target audience that I'm trying to reach is coming out to your home or your place of business or your local church. I like to get those individuals because some of those people don't want to go to a gym. They don't want to be around all the real actively fit.
So you're talking about a very fun yet inviting, warm environment that people love.
Right, very non-intrusive and very fun. I make my classes fun.
Wonderful. Obviously, this is a passion for you. You yourself understand how important health is. Share with me what I'm looking at down here that basically tells a story.
These cute little dolls here, there's 4 of them. There should be 6. These represent every surgery that I went through. I was born with cancer, and my scar goes right into the fold of my neck. And for every surgery that I had 6 major surgeries. They gave me one of these cute little dolls, and you can tell that was a long time ago because these dolls are really old. And my mom let me play with them, so obviously I've lost 2, but that's what these little dolls represent, is life.
Is it rewarding for you knowing that you're helping folks out there stay healthy and possibly stress-free as well as cancer-free or any other disease?
Definitely. When you can help somebody like that, you can't express or feel or even really explain the gratitude that comes from that on both ends.
Until next time, if you know of a business who you feel the whole city should know about, nominate them, we'll send a reporter out. This is Gary Atencio from CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.